Okay, my name is Taylor O'Mara, and I'm going to be teaching you how to add integers today. So before we begin, we need to know what an integer actually is. So an integer is defined to be any whole number and it can be positive or it can also be negative. So what are some examples? Well, if we look at the numbers like 0 or 10 or -5, those are all integers because they're whole numbers and they can be positive or negative, doesn't matter, as long as it's a whole number. But numbers like 1/4 or 0.7 or -3/4, those are not integers because those are fractions. Those are parts of numbers, not whole numbers. So what's some real world examples that we see these? Well, one big one that we use every day is temperature. So for example, you might have a day that's -10 degrees Celsius, and that's a lot colder than a day that is maybe 24 degrees Celsius, maybe a nice warm summer day. And so those are where we see integers in real life. You're never going to hear of a temperature being 22.5 degrees, right? So now how do we actually add integers using a number line here? So now that we know what an integer is, how do we add them? So let's say, for example, we'll use an easy one first, 2 plus 2. Those are two integers. Everyone knows that that equals 4. But let's use a number line to do that. So if we always start at 0. This is always our starting point, is this 0 point here. So what we do is we do 2 plus 2. So if we're going to add a positive number 2 on a number line, we always move to the right if it's positive. All these on the right side are positive numbers, and all these on the left side are negative numbers. So if we're going to do 2 plus 2, we start at 0 and we go 1, 2, that's our first one, plus 2. So we go to the right again, 2 more, and that gets us to number 4, which we already know. So that's just an easy example that everyone already knows the answer to. But what if we have, for example, a question that says -5 plus 6 minus 2? What does that equal? Well, maybe that one might be a little harder to get right off the bat. So what we have to do is go back to our number line. And this number line will always work. It's the most useful way to add integers, especially when you're involving negatives. So we start off at our 0 line again, and we're going to go -5 first. So we go 5 to the left this time because it's negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at -5 now. And now we're going plus 6. So we start at 5 and we go 6 to the right because 6 is positive here, plus 6. So we go to the right. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we are at positive 1. And then the last step is, the last step is -2 here. So now we start off at our positive 1 and we go to the left 2. So -2, we go 1, 2, and we end up at -1. So therefore, our answer for this is -1. And this will always work, no matter what integers you have. As long as they are integers, your number line will always work for you. If it's fractions, it's a different story and it won't work as well, but those aren't integers. So this is how you can add positive and negative integers easily using a number line.